UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Hello there, thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra. Now, I must first remind you that this is an extension of Good Morning Uganda. We are always here from 6:30 till the hour of 9, then we continue into this other segment where I usually have a guest or two or three and we discuss issues of national concern. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono. It is exactly 5 minutes past the top of the hour, which is 9 a.m. Thank you for being with us. And looking at the weather, it also looks very friendly because at least I see the sun is out. And also to remind you that in case you miss any segment of this show, you can watch it at your liberty because we stream live on YouTube. So you can go back forward, you can rewind and be able to get that particular segment that you could have missed. Happy to be with you and hope we walk together till the hour of 10. This morning I'm going to be discussing money. Money. However, I'm discussing issues of people who handle money. I'm not giving my viewers money or telling you codes to place and get money, but discussing issues of the bankers. People that keep, people that give us credit, people that handle so much regarding money. If you ever walked into a bank, you will know how people are counting and giving out. So these people have an association. And every year, they hold a conference. This time, this is going to be the 6th annual Bankers Conference. And it's going to be focusing on digital innovation in the banking and financial sector. Now on set, I have Dennis Musinguzi, who is the head of Bank Tech at the MTN Mobile Money Limited. Dennis, you're most welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you for welcoming me.
Oh, I'm
glad to be here.
To have you. Yes. There is so much that we will be knowing and of course regarding the sector. I also have Patricia Amito Luswata, who is Lutwama. Lutwama, pardon me, Mr. Lutwama, yes, it is Lutwama, who happens to be the head of communication and corporate affairs at the Uganda Bankers Association. Most welcome.
Thank you, Robert. Good morning, and good morning to our viewers on UBC. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, a quick one. When you talk about the Uganda Bankers Association, it may sound automatic. It is an association of bankers, but what entails, what do you do? What is it all about?
Good. So Uganda Bankers Association is the umbrella body for financial institutions that are licensed and supervised by the Central Bank of Uganda. Our membership currently stands at 36, and this has the 25 commercial banks. It also has development financial institutions, development banks, and we also have a category for the tier 2 and 3, who are the microfinance credit institutions and deposit-taking institutions. In terms of our mandate is key promoting initiatives that support financial inclusion, representing the interests of our members. If there are policy discussions that we need to get into that affect financial services, we also have this engagement with the different stakeholders, the regulators, government, to see how we can best improve on the delivery of financial services. We also do quite a bit of research and advocacy for the financial sector, particularly also trying to drive initiatives around financial inclusion for the last mile of the population here in Uganda.
Okay, now we know very well what this association does. Dennis, you're coming from MTN. Now, where does MTN get into the picture regarding the coming conference?
Again, thank you for having us, and good morning to the viewers. MTN Mobile Money Uganda, as a fintech, has been a strong partner to the banks and the financial institutions, And like Patricia said, my colleague, that they are doing a lot of activities in terms of growing financial inclusion. Mobile money as a company is driven by inclusion because we want to reach all the customers that are unable to access any kind of financial services. We know the banks do a lot, but they can't be everywhere. And as a strong strategic partner, we believe we can actually benefit from a growth model that looks at both the banks, the Uganda Bankers Association and MTN Uganda moving together towards providing these services to customers. So as a fintech, our role is basically to enable customers to have access to affordable and flexible financial instruments. Of course, those are driven largely by the banks because the banks have the expertise in actually providing these services, so we partner with them. And the reason why we were coming to this conference is because we believe together we are unstoppable.
Wonderful. Together we're unstoppable. Yep. Now, going back to the conference, this is going to be the 6th annual Bankers Conference. And give us a background to these conferences. Why do we have them? Is it just something that every year, you know, comrades regather as if it's a general, or maybe accountability? You know, you have these annual conferences, annual for reporting accountability. What is this entailed, this being the 6th?
Thank you. Thank you, Robert, for that question. So the annual Bankers Conference, like you rightly put it, is the 6th currently. And we started the first one in 2017. And it's a platform, it's an event, it's a forum. For us as the Bankers Association, we use it to bring together stakeholders across the financial services sector, be it the financial institutions, be it the regulators, be it government, be it the customers themselves, be it the fintechs, be it anybody who's involved in the delivery of financial services, one way or the other. We, once a year, bring them together on a topical issue that we identify as an industry. So in 2017, our focus was on the future of banking. What does it look like? What should the customers what should the customers want to know about the future of banking? Then when you come to 2018, we focused on the changing, on what we call the de-risking of investments to support financing towards agriculture, because we keep changing the topics. We also had a topic on bend, we call it bend but not break. And it was because of the COVID pandemic. So we said, what more can we do as financial institutions in the event that we have this challenge ahead of us, but what other innovations can we come out with to be able to enable businesses just come back and thrive as they were before. Fast forward to last year. Last year, largely, our conference focused on what are the financing gaps that exist currently in the manufacturing, tourism, and hospitality sectors. And from there, you see that the discussions are positioned towards what are some of the challenges or problems as a financial sector we want to be seen to be addressing. And who do we need to work with? Who do we need to collaborate with more to see these initiatives or these solutions come aboard? And this year around, we are focusing on fintechs, the trends and innovations in the fintech space that are changing the face of banking. And from that, it is the basis or the genesis of the theme this year was we acknowledge that there has been a great, enormous contribution of the fintechs to financial services. Be it customers saving, borrowing, transferring money. The financial services sector has gone through technology-led changes. Very dynamic and constantly trying to address the needs of the customers. So we said, let's have a conference, let's have a forum where we pull together the technology partners to, one, discuss two things. How do we've made some very good steps in terms of financial inclusion, but what more can we do through the different fintechs that are in the market? Secondly is, how do we collaborate more? Many times people have said banks or financial institutions and fintechs are competitors. But that's not the truth. We are actually coming together, partnership, collaboration, for purposes of supporting the customers, access these services conveniently, efficiently, and affordably, making it more cost-friendly to the customer. But also, the last thing that we want to achieve from the conference this year is, what other roles do we need in this financial ecosystem, both from government, the regulator, the legislative arm? What are some of the gaps that we need to address that will again help us improve on the quality of the financial services for Uganda?
Now this, I saw Dennis nodding his head in agreement when you talked about fintechs not being competitive with or at rival business ways with the banking system. Throw more light, because actually many people view it that way. That if I can have my MTN mobile money, you know, do things for me, I'm actually benefiting more than if I can get my money at any one time, even the comfort maybe of my home or what, yet maybe sometimes forgetting signature, you know, signing right. Then you're told this is not you, yet it is me. Then you're saying, but this, there is a stick that goes up, then there is this. So people opt for, no. I can check my money at my convenience, just clicking in, and I can say, so why would I? And you go for that.
Okay. So, and my colleague Patricia is right. We are very much partners and not, it's not competitors anymore. The ever-changing landscape of finance, fintech, and banking, like she said, technology-led, but also brings with it a lot of opportunities for us to actually benefit from the synergies. So I'll give you an example of where mobile money needs banking and banking also needs mobile money. I may not necessarily be accessing my bank account or my money at 2 a.m. in the morning, and yet I need to because I have a patient, I have an emergency. Mobile money helps you access that money through the partnership with the bank, because you can get money from your bank account, or if you need to send money to a bank account, you don't need to actually walk into a branch or take a border and incur other expenses to actually go and deposit that money. You can actually do it through your mobile money. So we are not competing on that level. But I also want to touch on more critically in the space of financial inclusion, because banks have had for the longest time the experience and expertise to provide financing solutions, loans, savings, you know, and things of that nature. And they have built themselves a lot of equity in that space. Fintech as ourselves, we are more on the technology side, about enablement, about improving access to technology and digitization for customers. In partnership with the banks, we're able to bring those two elements together, where the banks are now able to reach customers that they wouldn't ordinarily reach, because customers are not going to come to the bank branch to qualify for a loan, or are going to need extra items to actually start a savings account. What we do is we provide that through mobile money, and that actually is built specifically for the customer, because using the information or using the expertise that mobile money has, we are able to tailor products together with the banks and the financial institutions to actually provide customers with products that meet their needs. So a savings product, a loans product that meets the needs of somebody who's just finished their university compared to somebody who's started their first job. So we're able to do it at that level and provide needs to customers that fit them specifically. So overall, we are a more powerful partnership together than competitors, because I think competitors, each of us don't really gain from what the other has to offer. So that's why I say we are very much partners in this industry.
Well explained. More of partners and working together. This synergy is looking at the strength in it. But how does the theme speak to the various players in this sector?
Very good question, and it largely speaks to players across the board. Whether you are a mobile money provider, call it digital money, electronic money, whether you are a regulator, whether you are an SME, for example, whether you are in government, this theme, as it is, currently, all of us would agree, even you, Robert, would agree, that after the year of COVID, there was a change that happened. The change that happened was people moved more to digital electronic channels.
Yes.
As opposed to the cash that we're all used to. So there was that trend where, a phase where people then moved and realized that, hey, I can actually transact electronically, I can actually make a payment electronically and it will be received as opposed to me walking there. And that was a good thing because we were limited by transport restrictions. And we had to find a way to address some of these issues to ensure that at least customers are able to continuously be able to access their accounts. But also, in terms of the fintechs, there's a National Payment Systems Act 2020, which under the Bank of Uganda, gave Bank of Uganda authority and powers to actually be able to license the providers of the electronic money. And MTN Momo, or MTN Mobile Money, is one of these providers. So UBA, as we are, signed an MOU with the National Payment Services Providers Association, for which MTN and other members are members. And to date, the central bank has licensed about 25 firms as providers of payment services under their body. So we work quite a lot with these electronic providers, and in there the initiatives are discussing how do we support the customers in terms of costs that they incur when they are transacting. How do we make this more affordable to them? How do we innovate more and address, one, the customer experience? How do we enhance this customer experience? How do we make it better for them? But most importantly, how do we drive penetration of financial services? And ultimately, when you do the one and two, the customer experience, the penetration, then you come to driving economic development, which then brings in the other arm of government, the support that we will expect from government, the regulators in there. And in there, the discussions that we're going to have on that day are going to have representatives from UCC, for example. We're going to have representatives from NITA. We are talking about the national ID. How huge is the national ID in terms of enabling access to services? Increasingly, as financial institutions, we are moving towards a point where we only need to access your national ID data to be able to authenticate and verify you, to be able to access these services across the board. So there are collaborations that will happen. We also will have a lot of technology partners in the conference. And in there we are saying, what are the challenges that you're facing as technology providers, enablers? Technology is like a business enabler, and it's across all the banking operations. What are some of the challenges you're facing? What are some of the opportunities that then we as the financial institutions can come in to tap in, to support, to enhance, to strengthen, and drive the agenda of financial inclusion holistically? Yeah.
Well, I'm still with members of the Uganda Bankers Association, and we are discussing the upcoming, that is annual Bankers Conference that will be running from the 14th to the 15th of this very month at Serena Hotel in Kampala. And now I want to bring in Dennis. Of late, fintechs are so broad. Recently I was just opening my phone and I saw, do you want a loan? Like, hey, this is Alpha, give us this and then money will come to your phone. I'm like, for sure? Is this real? First I thought someone wants to call me only to consult. I'm someone who loves consultations. But no, the money is there, you'll get it definitely. Now, what challenge do they pose to this sector? You know, it seems someone can even sit from somewhere and develop. You know, technology is ever evolving. The only worst bit I was told about this, that when it comes to payment and you delay everybody in your phone contact, which is against sales. So what are some of the challenges that come up with these continuous fintechs that are coming up?
Yes, and I think that's a very good question, Robert. Like any other industry, if you have technological advancements, you are going to have challenges in terms of how you regulate those new things, because this is completely new, not just for the industry, but also for the regulation arm of it. We do know that the Bank of Uganda, the National Payments Act as well, that governs our operations, have been very robust and very clear in how they manage services that revolve around financial instruments that are provided through mobile money or fintechs in general. And we know that, of course, there will be some nefarious parties that will try and take advantage of these things. But what we have is a very robust, a very secure system that is able to provide, one, secure services, but also two, data privacy, because we do cherish the data that the customers have entrusted with us, just like the banks do, our financial institutions. And also we know that there will be certain elements that will try and be bad actors in that space, and we try and manage that. So the best that we do, and what we currently do, is we very much educate our customers about the dangers of such activities, because you will find people who will try and take your money. It's not just in the fintech space, even the banking space. Anywhere you go, you'll meet certain bad actors that will be trying to take something from you. So the idea that we've proactively gone out to educate our customers. I'm sure many of you have seen the campaign that is running on digital as well as radio, called Better Steady. Those are one of the initiatives together as a cross-industry initiative to drive awareness to the market about people who are going to try and take advantage. Because the example you mentioned, yes, there are some people who are going to take advantage of you. We try and measure that. But also, I want to give credit to the regulation arm, because I think they're very, very much doing the best they can with an ever-changing industry. The Bank of Uganda and all the other bodies, NITA Uganda, as well as all the other entities that govern the securities. When you talk about cyber security, when you talk about data privacy, all of those bodies have been working very hard to try and meet global standards, because we know there are certain industries and markets that are ahead of us on the curve, and we can learn from. So they're adopting many of those standards and making sure that those are implemented rigorously in the fintech space. So we are doing as much as we can to ensure that customers are protected, their data is protected, their money is protected, but also they have an experience with us and together with the financial institutions that they can trust and ensure that they'll get what they're paying for.
Well, just a quick one from one of our viewers, retired Captain Chitakamayanja from Chivoga. Thank you so much for watching. He says, Patricia should explain this term fintechs. He's watching and he's only hearing fintechs.
That's a good one. So fintech, as it is financial technology. Technology that enables financial services move from point A, Patricia here in Kampala, to Robert maybe in Masaka, without having to have a physical body there. So it's an enabler, and tech or technology has advanced so much. You have fintechs, you have agri-tech. These are now institutions or firms that are supporting the agriculture sector. You've had bank tech. We also have edu-tech. So ideally, the term behind there is technology that is supporting or enabling the sector progress.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that explained. Let me go for a short break. I'll be returning, and when I return, we'll be focusing more on the 6th Annual Bankers Conference. How do you participate? What is entailed in that? And why must you not miss?
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Introducing the Infinix Note 30 series in partnership with Airtel Uganda, a smartphone where style meets functionality. Take charge of the day with special features like the 108MP triple camera and 68 watts first charge, and the best part is you can use this phone to charge other phones. You also will enjoy free 3GB from Airtel every month for 3 months on each new device purchased. Dial *100#, select data and devices to get your free data. The Infinix Note 30 series Spark, a connection in partnership with Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Juko.
Yo.
What you go? Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices and gets a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that short break. Thank you so much for being with us. You're still watching Good Morning Uganda Extra on UBC TV. I'm Robert Chirabonyonyintono, and with me I have Dennis Musinguzi, who happens to be the head of Bank Tech at the MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited. Now, Mobile Money Uganda Limited. I also have Patricia Mito Lutwama, who happens to be the head of communication and corporate affairs at the Uganda Bankers Association. We are discussing the 6th annual Bankers Conference that will be running here in Kampala at Serena Hotel from the 14th to the 15th of this month. Now, Patricia, why should one attend this conference? What is unique from the other 5 that you've had before?
Thank you for that question, Robert. What is unique about it is, one, the theme. The theme, as you may all have heard, is focusing on trends and innovations in the fintech space that is changing the face of banking and financial services. So are you a fintech? Do you have dreams to start up a fintech? Are there issues as a fintech already existing that you would like to have on table discussed in this conference, or you'd like to make contributions to this conference? This is the conference for you to be able to pass on these recommendations, these solutions, these suggestions, because what we are looking for from this conference, together with our partners, and MTN Mobile Money is one of our partners, MasterCard is one of our partners on this conference, Raxio is a data center, is also one of our sponsors. I-45 Uganda is our sponsor. Bank of Uganda is co-hosting this together with us. And what we are looking for is suggestions, solutions, contributions from stakeholders across the financial ecosystem. Whether you are a mobile money operator, whether you are a mobile network operator, telecom, MNO, we are looking for suggestions to help us drive the agenda of financial inclusion for the country. We're all aware that technology is center in this, but also in technology, in as much as there are benefits that we realize in terms of managing the costs as a business, but also transforming the business, there's a bigger risk when you go the direction of technology. There's a big, and Dennis alluded to this risk. Fraudsters, there's a cybersecurity risk. Whenever you have access to these different channels, digital channels, there's always that one person or group of people who are looking for a small loophole. So we're also looking at how are we positioning ourselves, what do we need to do collectively, because fighting fraudsters, electronic fraudsters, that for that matter, fighting cybersecurity risk cannot be a problem of one person or cannot be an assignment of only the financial institutions. It requires a collaborative effort, and in the conference, these are some of the things we want to hear from the stakeholders who will join us. And we'll have a range of speakers who will speak to some of these things, but we also want the participants who will join us physically, but also those who will be able to join us online. Keep that conversation alive, because we'll document and extract all recommendations from whichever channel these have come through. And at the end of the day, what we want to do is put together a strategy, a framework to see that we advance some of the recommendations that will come out from the conference. Yeah.
Well, a number of expectations. Dennis, so how does one join or participate?
Okay, so the conference starting Monday next week, 14th to the 15th, like I said, is available online, like Patricia said. So there'll be live streaming on the various channels, Uganda Bankers Association page, the social media, as well as MTN Uganda will be streaming that. But for those who can make it to the Serena, we encourage you to do so. I think, like Patricia said, the goal of this event is to ensure that you have a partnership in growth. We can't do all of this on our own. The Bankers Association cannot do it on their own, and also the fintechs cannot do it on their own. As an industry, we have an obligation to make sure that our industry is thriving, safe and secure, but also we're also taking advantage of the technology enhancements and innovations that are coming through, because that's the world we live in now. You know, the only thing constant is change, and we want to sort of make sure we are running at pace together to achieve that. So the conference will be available physical if you want to be there, yes, at the Serena, but also we'll be streaming it live on all the digital channels, both at UBA and also the MTN Mobile Money and MTN Uganda.
Patricia, from the Uganda Bankers, is it strictly for to invite? Is it, is it walk-in? So what is it like? Because these are pertinent issues, more so when you talk about fintechs. Many people are into this business. Many people are eager to get this information. Many people are surviving on fintechs. I don't know how many people are benefiting and are employed, not directly by MTN, but have mobile money. Almost after a few meters you find someone. So it's something that really piques a lot of interest.
So it's the invites and the expectation from us is we want to hear a lot more from stakeholders who are involved in fintech, the fintechs. And we work very closely. There's a fintech association.
Okay.
There's the financial, it's called FITSPA. I don't know if you've heard about it. But it's the Financial Service Providers Association for the fintechs. And we work closely with them. And what we have done with them is we've extended invitations through this umbrella association and to different other stakeholders. But we also, because there's a limitation of the number in the hall, we are encouraging our stakeholders to also come online. These days, online is also the in thing, and you can have a contribution made online. For those who are not able to get that direct invitation to the physical attendance online, there is opportunity for you to register, and the registration is open currently. If you went to the Uganda Bankers Association website, you can register directly, and it's fast, it's easy, it's very convenient for you to actually register and be part of this discussion and make your contributions also to the conference.
Well, that is from the 14th to the 15th of this very month, just next Monday.
Yes, Monday.
Next week.
Yeah.
So be able that you don't miss out on this. When I look at time, of course, good things end while they're still very interesting to people. And today it's been an issue of discussing money issues, the banking sector, this conference, but very interesting, the fintechs. Many people, this is the way to go. Globally, physical presence is being limited every day. Physical presence is being limited every day. And one of the things that have interested myself and I've learned is actually the bankers are not competing with these various fintechs developments. They are complementing each other, and they believe in some synergies to move further. Now, as we wind up, let me get your concluding remarks, Dennis.
Okay, we're looking forward to engaging with our partners and, of course, the industry players at this annual Bankers Association. We are very proud to be associated with the Uganda Bankers Association to be doing this. And like I said, I think it's a joint effort. There's a lot more to be gained in us working together than not. And we also want to, I think, also be grateful to the governing bodies, so our Bank of Uganda and things of that nature in terms of the financial institution that govern us, that have been able to lay the foundation for us to actually start doing these kinds of collaborations. Because at the end of the day, the customer, you, the viewer, are who we are serving, and we would want to serve you adequately, safely, and securely with services that meet your needs and also are very useful to you in your day-to-day lives. So this conference is one of many, but also a starting point for us to build on and actually provide services and experiences to customers that they will be proud of and feel like they're very secure in offering. And for us, this is a very proud association to have with the Uganda Bankers Association.
I want to let you go before building more confidence and trust among the people that these fintechs are safe and well regulated.
So yes, they are, because we have, like I think Patricia had mentioned this, we have about 25 who are licensed by the regulator. So they are already vetted, governed, and meet the compliance standards that are required to operate. So we are working in an industry that is very highly regulated and very efficient in its regulation. So I just wanted to highlight that what you're dealing with is partners who have met certain standards and have a certain level of integrity and operational efficiency to provide the services that we are saying we want to provide. And that's the partnership we are very proud to be a part of.
Well, Patricia, as we get out of here.
Thank you, Robert. I want to start by appreciating our partners, our sponsors for this conference. We've had MasterCard partner with us for the past 5 years. And this year around, they're still with us. We welcome our new partners, MTN Mobile Money, that joined us this year for this conference. I would like to thank Raxio Data Center, who have also worked with us this journey for the conference. Allow me to thank I-45 Uganda, who has also worked with us, and BPC Technologies. I think you can hear they are either technology related or cybersecurity facing institutions. The regulator, Bank of Uganda, and our own financial institutions, our member financial institutions, who have worked with us this journey for the past 6 years or 5 years to this one. I want to thank them very sincerely for that, and also thanking the fintech specifically. I think with the advancement of technology, 6 years ago, 2015-16, we had about 7 million accounts, bank accounts. If you ask the question now, how many bank accounts do we have on this market? There are about 23 million, over 20 million accounts. And we will not say that we did this on our own. Completely not possible. But because of the different innovations that came as a result of the fintechs and the collaboration and partnerships that came on board between the financial institutions and the different firms, who were able to actually advance and penetrate deeper in terms of delivery of financial services to the community. And we continue to do that. We all are aware that there is an agent banking model. Agent banking model because there was a challenge of reach and distance if a customer wanted to access financial services. So 2018, the agent banking model came. We launched it as an association, and it's progressing. It's progressing very well. We have about 20,000 agents who are out there who are partnering with the financial institutions. And within there, all these models, what it speaks to is the aspect of collaboration across the different stakeholders. Even with the different government agencies, UCC, NITA, we work very closely as an industry with them on an agenda that sees that we want to, most importantly, enhance the customer experience, but also drive financial inclusion, getting services closer to the people, less costly but efficiently, and also ensuring that even these services, as we access them, they are secure, customers can afford them, and ultimately, if all these different components work together, then we'll definitely realize our economic development and growth as a country.
Well, thank you so much, Dennis Musinguzi, who happens to be the head of Bank Tech at MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited. Thank you so much for your time. And Patricia Amito Rutwama, head of communications and corporate affairs at the Uganda Bank Association. Thank you for your time and, of course, being here. And above all, you, the viewer. Now, the date is Monday, 14th to 15th at Serena Hotel in Kampala, where we'll be having the 6th annual Bankers Conference, and it is aiming at focusing on digital innovations in the banking and financial sector, running under the theme, which is the trends and innovations in the fintech space of the banking and financial services. So that's the reason why you should be there. If you have any doubt, when you talk about the fintech, I just remember a time when I missed one exam, because much as the money was there, but my father lacked time. And those days, for you to pay school fees, you had to have your bank slip, then line up. We used to go at a place, it was called UCB. Now I think it's Cham Towers. And down there, then the queues. And the poor man was very busy. Yet I had beginning of term, so I missed one exam. Today my son cannot go through that, because of the comfort, even if I'm having a show here, I can just, and it is done. So fintech is the way to go. Don't miss this conference. Have a lovely day. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala.